Hi everybody, how are you? It's Sloan Rhodes here with your spiritual guidance for the week of November 10th, 2019. I always say the same things whenever I start, and today for whatever reason I was like, what do I normally say? I usually say my name. Anyway, so today is November 10th, 2019. We are looking at spiritual guidance for the week starting today. And today I'm drawing from a deck I don't use very often. I think it's called Money and the Law of Attraction. It's an Abraham deck by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I hope everyone is doing well. Week of November 10th, 2019. Okay, here we go. In my appreciation, I allow myself to receive wonderful things. Number 52. I think last week we had number 25, the Metamorphosis card. So we're still operating in some of the slower moving energy. Just going by the numerology here. Well, what first drew my attention was the mutedness of these colors. They're very soft. We have sort of a pale lavender. We have this sort of very pale kind of burnt orange color. So I was really, really drawn to the colors and how kind of soft and quiet it is. So I feel like for this week, with the text of this card, in my appreciation, and because we have this sort of soft color scheme, see if you can soften your gaze this week. A little bit of the rose-colored glasses. You know, sometimes things appear to be in very sharp contrast, and we're, our adrenaline's pumping, and we're in a go mood, and we're going to get things done, and you're noticing all the things that need to be fixed and accomplished, right? This week, as you move throughout the week, do your best whenever you can to take a minute to draw a breath and allow your eyes to kind of soften, allow your energy to kind of soften with the breath. And then appreciate what is in front of you. In my appreciation, I allow myself to receive wonderful things. Now the mind says, I need to receive the goods, right? I need to receive the evidence, I need to receive the cold hard cash, right? But what you are receiving is the feeling, the acknowledgement of the blessed nature of life, of the miracle that is our very existence, right? I allow myself to receive wonderful things. And I think it's the text of that, things. It automatically sort of triggers the mind, triggers the ego, like, I need the things. But it's not so much that you are allowing yourself to receive wonderful things, although you may indeed receive wonderful things. But for me, it's more like in your appreciation, in the softening of your stance, in the softening of your heart, in the softening of your gaze, as you put on the rose-colored glasses, and you can see all the beauty that is around you. And as you do that, then the gift of that is that you are receiving a softer, more gentle, more appreciative, gratitude-filled moment, right? That is what the wonderful thing that you are receiving. It's a softer energy. It's muted. It's even kind of a blended energy. We get these muted colors because they're not so intense, because they've been blended with other things. Allow your experience to kind of flow over you. And I want to say this too, that when we are appreciating something, usually what occurs is that we appreciate something because it's not something else. I'm so glad I have this house instead of an apartment, right? I'm so glad I have this cat instead of a whatever, a worm. I'm so glad I have a car because then I don't need to take the bus. So there's this either or kind of energy, and in that energy we are looking at the contrast. So when you appreciate something just for the very nature of what it is. You open yourself up to the pure appreciation as opposed to the contrasting energy. Does that make sense? So I think I've given this example in the past in a video a long time ago. You're driving a car, right? So you're driving along and you're like, yeah, I'm going to appreciate this moment. I'm going to appreciate that I have a car, that my car runs great, and that I used to have this other car. No, you don't want to do that. You just bring it back to your car, right? But what you're doing is you're bringing it to your car as an entity, not because it's getting you somewhere. I'm glad I have a car because I don't have to walk, right? I'm glad I have this car. The very nature of its existence, the way it's been built, the steering wheel that is, rubber or leather or plastic, whatever it's made out of, or the cover you have on it, just for itself. I love the blackness of the interior, right? The smoothness. I love the upholstered seats, just for their very nature, not because they're not something else. So there's a subtlety there, but when you can play in that, then you're really opening yourself up to the present moment, and you're really opening yourself up to appreciation and love. So play with it a little bit. Again, we have number 52, this kind of slower moving energy, and this sort of muted nature. And when I say put on the rose-colored glasses, I'm not saying be in denial and just pretend that everything's great. Although in some ways, you can do that because everything is great. It's only not great when we look at the contrast. And appreciate how much help you have, as well. I'm really drawn to all of these hands coming in. And the blended nature of things. In my appreciation of all the things that had to occur for me to be able to wear this sweatshirt, all of the intentions and intelligence that had to blend and come together in order to create this moment where I can make a video and beam it out to potentially thousands of people. That's an amazing, miraculous event or experience. It's a game to play. Obviously, you're going to say, yeah, but I need to get things done. I can't spend my whole day, my whole week in this sort of Zen place, although you could. But just take your time with it this week. Soften your gaze whenever you can. If you're looking at a coworker and you're thinking that you know everything about them and that you know exactly what they meant by that and you know exactly how they always work and this and that and they're lazy or they're your bosses or whatever, and just soften your gaze a little bit and say, okay, what if my perception can be altered? And what if I move into a place of appreciation for the fact that my boss is showing up every day? She's made the effort to be here. And even though I don't understand why she's the way she is, I know that she wants to do her best, Or my coworker, Normally I see him as potentially, or possibly a lazy person. Well, what if my perception could be altered to appreciate the fact that he's here? He's trying to engage with me, or he's another human being doing his best upon the planet Earth, which is, in and of itself can be a very difficult experience. So be gentle, be kind, and look for places where you can meet another, right? This idea of blended is coming in. So this idea of where you can meet another where they're at as opposed to trying to make them be something that they're not. That's important, I think, for this week. Meeting people where they're at. Meeting life where it's at. When you meet life where it's at, where you meet another where they're at, and you're not judging them as having been as less than or more than, or the experience needs to be more. When you just meet it where it's at, where you accept it, then there's no fight against it. Then there's more peace. And from that peaceful experience of just meeting life where it's at or meeting another where they're at, then actions flow more easily. There's more opening and more awareness of what the possibilities are, as opposed to sort of a narrow perception of how things always are. So anyway, I hope that you find that helpful. I wish everyone much love, and I will see you on the next video, or I say this every week, at least I try to. All of my videos are available in audio format on the podcast. There are links below so you can listen to them when you're driving or running your errands. And yeah, I think that's it. All right, much love to everybody.